Dear G20 leaders and dear all, as you know, all layers of our global society have been changing and facing new challenges. These challenges, combined with multiple sectorial disruptions, require substantial changes in higher education. For many centuries, higher education institutions are based on traditional teaching-oriented model rather than learning-oriented approaches. Old-fashioned instructor-student roles, face-to-face class settings are supported by complementary technological add-ons. The gap between skills offered and skills needed creates skill mismatch, even the qualification mismatch, that are worsening the current global employment crisis. Thus, the G20 should support and promote new university models that will graduate individuals equipped with most up-to-date and relevant skills to meet today's global societal needs. Otherwise, we cannot satisfy emerging needs of Gen Z. The current COVID-19 pandemic did not only lead to a loss of millions of human lives, but also damage all over the world in terms of declining in global economy and lack of education. But from a positive side, this pandemic can be viewed as an opportunity to change our century-old education systems. Over the last few decades, universities have already been facing a number of challenges. A major structural change was also necessary to survive academically, professionally, and economically. Now, it is also mandatory to survive sanitarily. This pandemic simply accelerates the need for comprehensive structural change in higher education. In early days of this pandemic, most of universities generated fast, short-term reactions by switching to distance learning and online methods. But now, it is time to take mid- and long-term actions to start in-depth changes so that higher education institutions will become more relevant, equitable, and inclusive. First of all, G20 leaders should reshape education systems by focusing on core values, align with the need of stakeholders and community in order to increase the impact and contribution of higher education institutions. These new values, visions, and missions should focus on contemporary topics such as global challenges and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, social and cultural developments, cross-sectorial and international collaboration, and common human values to produce more empathetic, ethical leaders and passionate social entrepreneurs. With the right values as compass and clear strategies as roadmaps, we can create an environment to develop contemporary values and 21st century skills. In this new era of constant change, all sectors of our global economy require qualified human resources equipped with relevant skills. Employees should also be more agile, adaptable, innovative, and self-driven. To offer solutions to these global problems, we have to reshape traditional education ecosystem. G20 can succeed to achieve this crucial goal by understanding the need of society and implementing necessary actions, which include the following items. Number one, give priority to third mission, societal impact. While aiming at high-level performance in education and research missions, policymakers should also focus on the third mission, societal impact, which entails sustainable development, community outreach, social entrepreneurship, and ethics. It is also important to integrate all three university missions to generate a multiplicative effect. Number two, create policies based on cross-sectorial collaboration. Public, private, and voluntary sectors should work together hand by hand, both in the education and employment stages. Policymakers need to create incentives for all sectors to drive and invest in human capital development. Higher education institutions should have more autonomy and flexibility to make their decisions. Number three, develop new educational ecosystem. G20 countries should keep pace with societal and technological innovations and build smart campuses. Invest in more online platforms. Create on and off campus opportunities via partnership with stakeholders. Also, embrace and institutionalize non-formal education. Number four, design to meet learners' need. G20 members should emphasize personalized education to optimize new generation students' learning. Besides, great emphasis should be put on interdisciplinarity. Unnecessary barriers between academic disciplines should be lifted to allow more relevant contributions to meet stakeholders' needs. We must also create new innovative curricula, learning outcomes, and assessment tools. Moreover, higher education institutions should offer short-term degrees, micro-diplomas, certificate programs to provide students with more flexible and specialized education opportunities. Number five, design to meet educators' needs. In this new learning era, educators should also take on new roles, focusing on more facilitation, support, supervision, and coordination, rather than only teaching content. Instructor performance metrics should also be revised accordingly. Educators should also be supported through professional development for new instructional methods, digital literacy, ICT skills. They should also be encouraged to engage in learning and collaborative networks. Number six, enable and promote diversity. Policymakers should create multicultural, inclusive environments. Education should be affordable and accessible to everyone. Lifelong learning opportunities should be expanded. Internationalization and mobility should be promoted and expanded. In summary, today, higher education institutions have a number of serious challenges. But we should see this emerging new opportunities. Hence, we should take these opportunities to initiate a necessary mutation of higher education with the goal to make it more relevant, inclusive, and equitable. I encourage the G20 and all of us to embrace, change, and create new visions and policies in order to enable our institutions to regain their role as the cornerstone of our global society.